Welcome back to FUD Studios Presents Crypto News and Updates. I'm your host, Elio Trades, and today we're going to be talking about a very hot topic, Ripple XRP, and we're going to investigate whether it will ever get back to its all-time highs and whether it could actually moon as it was so hotly anticipated to do at the beginning of this year. So hold tight and we're going to get right to this video. How's it going, guys? Here we are looking at the Ripple XRP charts, and of course it is a little bit sad to say the least given where we were all of a few weeks ago up here at, high $3 range. There's a lot that can explain this pullback here, and we're going to go into all of it. But the question we're going to be asking here is, does XRP justify the values that we saw it at? I mean, we know there's a lot of Ripple XRP bag holders, people who bought in at $2, $3 when the hype cycle kicked into what we can only describe as extremity. And the question is, are those bag holders going to be sacked with a loss, or is this cryptocurrency going to recover to its all-time high, if not greater? And to answer that question, we need to ask ourselves what caused the hype cycle in the first place. Now, I know as someone who witnessed what felt like from the outside the hype cycle, it felt like Ripple was being pitched very much so as a solution to bringing banks or big financial institutions into the cryptocurrency space. Now, they've been pitching this by doing both, their CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, has gone on multiple sort of live television appearances and done mainstream national news explaining how Ripple XRP is supposed to alleviate the pain of cross-border payments, how to get money from New York to London. The fastest way to do it is to fly on the plane with a bunch of cash. And, of course, this sounds ridiculous. And the proposition is that XRapid and the Ripple XRP, their software and their token together can alleviate the need to do these cross-border payments in such a cumbersome and almost silly and expensive way from bank to bank. So this is not about your finances, not about my finances, though it trickles down to us. This is about a big bank talking to another big bank and them sending big sums of money to each other. So with that, excitement, Ripple is largely viewed as the banking coin, the coin that is heavily centralized. It's 60% owned by the company, the Ripple Foundation. And then you're also seeing that the coin was supposed to serve mainly banks. So the question is, what was the initial, value proposition of Ripple, and is it even potentially in a position to recoup that value? So right now, I think the biggest thing working against Ripple is that it's one of the biggest cryptocurrencies in existence. You see it here in the number 3 spot. It was once up here in the number 2 spot, for a brief moment overtaking Ethereum, and had a market capitalization north of $90 billion, rapidly approaching $100 billion. And that was, we got prices almost to $3 and, or above $3 rather. And the question is, was any of this justified? And was any of this based on real value, or is this based more on a speculation that Ripple was going to become the main banking coin for established banks across the world? Now, I know that once the announcement, it was sort of buy the rumor, sell the news type thing. Once the announcements came out that, Wells Fargo or Western Union has not been mentioned, and they were supposedly partnering with Ripple. Alibaba was supposedly partnering with Ripple. Ripple was supposedly going to be on Coinbase. Ripple was going to be working with Visa. All of these things are very big reasons why I know many savvy investors believed that they were getting a good sort of advantage and price action on Ripple, that they were going to be well positioned based on what Ripple was going to do to the financial markets. However, some of that news has maybe turned out not to be false, but not to be true. One of the things that we were all very, very interested in is Visa. So the question is Visa going to start using Ripple to start processing its payments? I heard this rumor many times, and so I'm not saying that this is a complete impossibility, but what we're looking at now is Visa sort of foraying themselves into the very same space, and they're doing so with a blockchain technology called B2B Connect. So if we pop over to Visa's page here, we can see that they're using B2B Connect as a way to do cross-border payments, transactions between banks. They're already working with U.S. based banks and South Korean banks and Philippines banks and essentially Asian banks and American banks. And now we just heard that Visa has, and this is in early January, we heard that Visa had suddenly canceled all their support for all cryptocurrency payments. And this was a big deal. The question is, why would they do that? Now, Visa could give you their reasons, but if we're reading through the tea leaves here, it seems as though Visa is making a foray towards having their own cryptocurrency blockchain backing and allowing them to take advantage of some of these sort of benefits that Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, was referring to when he was explaining how blockchain could settle these payments in an instant and painless way. Now, if you're asking yourself, well, why would someone trust Visa's new blockchain technology over Ripple's more established blockchain technology? I think the question can be flipped on its head a bit. Why would some company, why would some established bank trust a new company like Ripple XRP over the very established, long-standing relationship that they have with Visa to process their payments? To me, it's almost silly to think that banks would break from Visa when they're offering what sounds like a very similar service. So for me, the rumor around Visa and Ripple has somewhat been dispelled. And so far, the other big rumors were around, Western Union. And here we have Moneygram is piloting Ripple and is looking into using the Ripple XRP software. But we have no real understanding of how that's going to affect the XRP token, how much transferring they're going to be doing, and just really how this all sort of shakes out. We don't know how this affects the Ripple economy, how this affects the market capitalization, and how this affects our coins. So in combination with a few other factors, I'd say that Ripple went through a hype cycle. Obviously everyone has heard about Ripple. Ripple has been, in some senses, reported on much more so in the last few months, even in a positive way than Bitcoin. I know several financial experts and people working in corporate America that have talked to me directly without being prompted about Ripple, without talking about any other cryptos. So Ripple has gained a true mainstream profile. They've become a household name in some senses. But the question is this justified? Is what Ripple, or the expectation for Ripple, even possible? I know a lot of people had also thrown out the idea that Alibaba was going to be partnering with Ripple, and that Ripple would start, doing all the transactions for Alibaba. And of course, that is the huge rumor with Tron Coin as well. But it seems like from this research that Alibaba, if they are going to foray into crypto, they're going to do it in their own way. And we see evidence of this with them opening up a cloud mining, what we can assume is a cloud mining infrastructure this month. This month, Alibaba just, debuted a new sort of cryptocurrency mining infrastructure platform that many think can be used for cloud mining. So this shows that they're getting involved in their own way, but they're probably going to do it at their own pace, with their own infrastructure. That's not to say that they're going to necessarily create their own coin. They may very well start linking with top coins in the industry, but there is so far no indication that Alibaba is going with any specific coin for its transactions, or that it will accept any coin in any preferential manner. There's nothing to say that Alibaba won't accept Stellar Lumen just because of its low payments, low transaction times and low fees. There are a million ways that this could go, and to assume that Ripple is going to be the processor for Alibaba and for Visa and for all the big banks, I would say is not naivete, but it's just a little bit too much of belief for this personally, for my investments. It's a little bit too much belief in things that have not happened and don't necessarily seem like they're going to happen. So Ripple XRP, I find to be an incredibly profound project, especially how they've managed to keep so many coins centralized and built up this real war chest of capital. They're an impressive organization, and I don't want this to seem like I'm hating on Ripple. I think Ripple's a very impressive blue chip stock here, blue chip coin here that will continue to grow. But the question is did it deserve this $3 surge? And is it going to pop right back to that $3 level? And is it going to go bust through it to $10 or $20? I think there's a lot of question marks that are left unanswered around Ripple. And I think that the news cycle was a little bit too extreme. The optimism was a bit too significant. And what you're seeing is a pullback down to earth here for Ripple. Now, is Ripple a bad investment at these prices? No, it looks like it's hitting some good support now around, the real support here is at $1.05, $1.08, or about right over $1 even. And so we're here at about 120, 130. I mean, the reality is we could come back down and hit that dollar price again. I'd like to see this steadily climb as Ripple has become such a big value holder in the crypto community. As Ripple becomes healthier, the whole community will hopefully flourish with it. But what you're seeing here is a pullback of tremendous proportion. And I believe strongly that Ripple will have a long road to getting to the place of frenzy that it occupied in mid-December, and that for it to get to a point where it is above Ethereum again, or just really rapidly climbing and eating up the currencies above it, it's going to have to differentiate itself in a major way and start forming partnerships with some of the lead financial institutions in the world, or else Ripple XRP will simply not be able to make good on its promise of being the banking solution coin. Thanks so much for checking out our videos. I'd love to know, are you holding Ripple? Are you a supporter of Ripple? Do you agree with my assessment of Ripple and its trajectory? Is there some information that I missed that you'd love for me to go over? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, if you benefited from it, please give me a like, give me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're a cryptocurrency investor or simply enthused or interested in the space. We put out 3 to 5 videos each and every day here, so us understanding what you like and what you've benefited from helps us bring you better content, and you liking and sharing that content helps expose the greater community to it. So thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for watching. We'd love to catch you guys on the next episode of FUD Studios Presents Cryptocurrency News and Updates. Thanks so much. I'm Elio Trades, and I'll catch you on the next one.